What would you like to give anybody watching this video? Any advice, any either entrepreneurial advice, life advice, or just anything in general? What else would you like to add to viewers?
Well, I would say first about being an entrepreneur. You have to be one of those kind of faith-filled people to do it. I always say I jump off a cliff and I just know the parachute's going to show up sometime when I'm going down. Yeah. And it does every single time. We need good entrepreneurs who are willing to invest into our community here, because I truly believe the fabric of America is small business. As of life advice, I love to pour into people about relationships. It's all about relationships for me. I've learned that burning bridges isn't always the best thing, because many times the people that are the ones that we have to handle the most are the ones that we learn the most from. So man, whether it's in a marriage relationship or a friendship, cultivate those relationships, spend time with them, not just listen to them, but actually hear them and be there for them. I had a lady come by today and she just literally needed a hug and she began to bawl. She's been through some really crazy things. So yeah, that would say, man, and then take life every day. It's a gift. And do not take for granted your time.
Those hit. I mean, it's true. I love that.
If you're thinking about making a change, hopping into entrepreneurship, if you've had a dream for a long time, figure out what you need to do to make it happen. Whether that's, sitting back for 2 years, saving money, working with a spouse, with a partner. It's a lot easier to do before you have kids, just the heads up there. I think you'd probably agree. Do what you need to do to make it happen. Give it a shot, take the risk and go do it. I know a lot of us who have, we'd never look back, and those who haven't sit there and wonder. So just take the risk, take the leap, do it.
With the gym, I say it's definitely take care of the people that are in front of you and don't worry about the people that are not there. Yeah. If you take care of the members that you have, the ones that have the means will take care of you. And that's happened in my case more than once with members that have been with me for a long time. So try not to be upset about, how many members you don't have. Just really keep the members that you do have happy. Make sure they're getting what they want. Listen to them if there's something they think that we need. If you have the money to get it, definitely try to get it. Yeah. And it goes pretty smooth from there. We have a pretty awesome group of people that come out here on a daily basis. So I always tell people, if it weren't for CrossFit, I never would have met the thousands of awesome people I've met.
I would just like to add that community support to small businesses and entrepreneurs is extremely important. So thank you to everybody that has supported us in the past. For any future entrepreneurs out there, the risk is always worth the reward. There's a lot of time put into owning a business, but it's all worth it in the end, especially if you have a really great team that helps support you and build and grow with you.
Yeah. The late nights, the sleepless nights are worth it.
To be honest, as I was going through school, I wasn't sure if I wanted to join a practice or if I wanted to open our practice. And it was a little bit of a leap of faith. You build up a plan and you're ready to work hard, and so you just execute. And so the fear of either the unknown or what lies ahead, that's all determined on how you approach things. And so being willing to work hard, put those plans together, it's not just about kind of jumping into a black hole and figuring it out as you go. There needs to be some framework to that, and I really appreciate the growth opportunities that being a business owner provides. You really have to respond and adapt and make sure that you're going in the right direction, continuing to analyze and look at how things are going and what can we improve, or what things need to, be different, or keep doing these things because that's working well. Whether that's chiropractic care and you have a passion for the human body and helping in a hands-on conservative way to help people's bodies function better and make an impact in people's lives, it's a tremendously rewarding career. And I love being a chiropractor and being able to work with people and being service to others. And kind of on the other end, I love being a business owner and for all the reasons that we've talked about. Yeah. Not only in growing the business, but allowing that to be kind of the counterbalance to our family life. We have those opportunities.
I think that, it becomes really important to connect with your customers and have a thorough understanding of, what their needs are, what their biggest challenges are, before you take the next step, right? And so I think just having that really in-depth understanding of their needs is really, really important, because you'll always learn something that you're shocked by. And it's so much better to validate like an assumption before you open a business. So I would say that's a really good lesson. I mean, I'm super excited. It's worked out for us, but it's definitely something to think about, that if I could rewind and do again, I'd probably spend a little bit more time researching, investigating, maybe do some dry wallet tests, as they call it in like the product management world, and kind of make sure I have a really, really good understanding and set my expectations accordingly. So that would be my advice.
Don't hesitate, just do it. In all honesty, if you have a passion and it's something you're passionate about and it's something that you believe in, utilize the resources that are around you, do your research, but don't hesitate to jump in and try it. I mean, as a coach, I tell my athletes all the time, you miss every shot you don't take, right? And so if there's something that you're passionate about, something that you really feel could impact our community, impact your livelihood, and provide for your family, don't hesitate, jump in and do it. But don't be afraid to ask for help too. Having help is a big part of it too. People that are going to help push you, help motivate you. But don't hesitate. Do it. Just do it.
Try not to go too fast. Take it slow. Really watch your numbers. I mean, your accountant is going to tell you, watch your numbers. Know what your numbers are when it comes to business. Know the ratios of your expenses between your payroll, your operating expenses, what's going out the door. So that way you know how much is actually staying in your company. Because I know a lot of times we also like to give out to the community. So we have given to local schools. We like to donate to our local charities, between the Manhattan and Wamego areas and out. We've reached out also to Alma and areas too. But just take it slow, take it easy, and really watch your numbers, so that way you can plan, and that way you can have a successful business.
I love it. A lot of people don't pay attention to their numbers, so it's important.
Don't take no for an answer, and don't give up on your dream. Even though your original idea didn't work, how can you persevere and transition and get creative during the hardest portions of that business and really think outside the box on what you can do? And that's been probably our story all along. I've told everyone that works with me, we're going to try something, and if it doesn't work, failure is part of our story. It doesn't mean that it ends. It just means we learned something. Yeah. And so what can we take from something that didn't work and make it a learning experience, not only for children, but for us as adults? And that's really how we approach our day-to-day. And I don't think I've ever looked at any of them and said that was terrible, because 9 times out of 10 they can say, well, that didn't work because of this. And I'm like, great, so how can we change it? How can we make it better? Which goes back to our STEAM philosophy in the first place.
You're not going to build any relationships sat behind a desk. I literally get irate when I'm sat behind a desk all day. I was like, I need to get out. I need to go talk to some people. Yeah. And so, I've really focused on trying to be the best version of myself, which is, if I look back 4 years, is stepping way outside of my comfort zone, awesome. Right? And so it's, I honestly never would have dreamed of owning my own business, but here we are, and it takes a lot of sweat, a lot of, late nights. It's a lot of work, and it's getting that work-life balance. And that's something I'm always wary of. I really try not to take work home. I think if you can surround yourself with great people, because I love to see people win, and if that's, from my staff, I love celebrating them. I want to set them up for success. Sure. And then, just being engaged in the community. And that's one thing, I'm always passionate about is, this community supports me. So we're pretty big on giving back to that community, because it is important, and I think Manhattan does a great job of facilitating that all around.
that's the biggest thing I would tell an entrepreneur to do, is to talk to someone else who's done it before. Don't reinvent the wheel. Find out what works. I mean, we even still do this now. Trey's a part of a group that gets together every 6 months or a year, and they talk about what's working, what's not working. So even now, still 16 years in, we're still trying to get better, and we do that through the help of people that have done it and said, nope, this didn't work. Yes, this worked, and so you know, using ideas and helping others do that is the biggest thing I would say.
Yeah, like he said, I found a group of other store owners that I really lean on, and if I have questions, and it's nice to have those people that you can go to that you feel confident that they have, you know, your same goals in mind, and that they really want to help you. And it's nice because we're all in different markets, so we can all help each other, and we're not competing. And so finding a group of people that you can lean on it and when you need something.
Rising tide raises all ships, right? Yep.
So it's obviously not for everybody. The best thing I could explain it would be like a child. It's going to take all your time, all your energy. You're going to stress about it 24/7. But at the end of the day, if you're looking for like the risk for reward, the reward at the end for some people will just be way more than you could ever imagine. So if you're at a point where you're thinking about it, it can never hurt to try. If you want to, and use your local resources. Like, there's so many people in the community that can help with things like this. So I would say just have faith in yourself, do the best you can, and whether it works or not, as long as you say you gave it 100%, that's all you can do at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Add anything to that?
I think that's good.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. What's the one aspect that you truly enjoy about, whether it be adoptions or real estate law or whatever that is? What does Summer enjoy about this business?
Well, my practice in particular is very, very diverse. I like it that way because I can figure something else out that's new. I can teach myself something new. I'm well versed in a lot of different topics. And it's cool. It's cool to walk in, you know, a client will walk in and you'll say, you know, I don't know how to do that, but I'm going to figure that out because this is the practice of law. My dad and everybody's always said, this is just the practice of law. Well, I mean, clearly we know what we're doing, but yeah. It is neat to have a diverse practice where you can do other areas of law, and no day on my desk is the exact same. It never will be the exact same, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's perfect. You enjoy the challenge of every day. I like it.
Make sure you truly are passionate about what you do. I've always been one that has a side hustle or two. Sure. I'm a junker. I like vintage stuff, so I always have that. I enjoy senior populations, so going and visiting and volunteering and things like that. You don't want to make those things maybe the thing that you go full bore into business too, because there can come a point where you start to not enjoy that, and you don't want to give those pieces of yourself away. So find something you're passionate about, people. That's in all areas for me. And then build on that, find something that you enjoy and can then grow into loving more. The other advice I would give is you better be ready to buckle down. And it can get really scary sometimes financially with the, each year is a little different. This is a political year. And so that will definitely affect things. So you need to really look forward, plan appropriately, gauge your money, have a good advisor as far as somebody that's going to be an accountant and can and walk you through not overextending yourself, and also make sure you have a really supportive family, because they're going to have to understand the long hours.
Sure. Very, very true. At least when you're getting started, right?
Right. Yes.
So.
Yes.
Just keep working, keep grinding, keep digging, keep track of things. Hire professionals to do what you're not supposed to do. I hired an accountant first, right when I started off, and one thing he told me was, you don't have time to learn to be an accountant. He's like, you go be an electrician, and I guarantee you that time that you spend wiring, you can pay me. So I think that's important. So hiring the right professionals, talking to as many people as possible that have been through the process, people that have even failed, because a lot of times people that have failed are open and willing to talk to you. Most people that are successful have also failed. So, just kind of getting as much information as you possibly can.
Get a business plan. Really come through with the numbers. I mean, and make them realistic, and really know the ins and outs and what's all going to affect your industry. And, like again, you need an accountant and an attorney on your side, on your team to help you make some of those better decisions if that's not the area of your expertise. So, but get a business plan and and do some projections, a year, 5 years, 10 years. What does that look like? And how are you going to achieve those goals? So that's my best advice I would give.
As far as if you want to get into any kind of business, you got to put your blood, sweat, and tears into it.
Yeah.
You got to be there. You can't be an absentee owner. It just, people want to come in, they want to talk to the owner, they want to see that familiar face.
Yep.
That and do your homework. And it's, it's always great, I see this as great business, easy. All they do is come in, they keep buying from you. Well, there's a lot of behind the scenes work that goes on there.
Yeah.
And we've been very fortunate to have a great staff, and that's one thing you got to be able to do. Have good people working for you and let them do their job.
Yeah.
And other than that, a lot of luck too. So,
yes, I get that.
And if you're on the other side and you're a customer, plan ahead too.
Yeah.
I mean, do your same homework.
Yeah.
Research out. Just because you can go online and click that button, they'll send you something, doesn't mean it's the best deal.
Yep.
So, it's always fun to shop local and get to know your local haberdasher.
Yeah.
And then keeps everybody in business, and those tax dollars go and stay in the community. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yep. No, I love that, and that's a lot of what it is. I mean, that's why I love Manhattan, and just the shop local thing. I mean, that's probably one of the best things about Manhattan is that everyone supports locally. They try not to go to the big box stores if they don't have to.
Everybody is a photographer.
Yeah.
Your iPhone takes photos. It doesn't mean that everyone is a good photographer.
Agreed.
So there are a couple of things. It's just really looking at the value that you bring and recognizing that within yourself.
Sure.
And then creating an experience and the value that you want to bring to people.
Mm-hmm.
Because photography is not just photography. We are recording our lives. We are telling our stories. We are, building our identities a lot of times, especially on social media with photography and the various types. And it can be such a tool for exploring the life that you want. And really capturing the life that you have. Looking at that and saying, what do I really want for my clients to do? And then making it a whole experience for them. Yeah. Because it's not just photography. It never is. When your clients are coming in thinking about the state of mind that they're in, and then really just making that as seamless as you possibly can. And so when they leave a session with you, they're on this high. Whether you're doing headshots, family photography, wedding photography, boudoir,
sure.
Anything. It's just really important. The client experience is the most important thing. And then just being honest with yourself about what you need to sustainably run a business.
Yeah.
Photography is fun, and a lot of people do it as hobbies, and they charge like hobbies, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to look and be honest with yourself if you're going to be in business for a long period of time about what you need. And that's a hard conversation, sure. I think, for any entrepreneur, but it's a necessary one.
So one thing I do is I tell anybody that wants to start their own business to work for somebody else in that business that you want to start and learn from them. Don't come right out of college and start your own business, because you're going to fail, because it's just, unless you got a lot of discretionary income, it's hard. And so I would do that. I would also get a solid buy-sell agreement in place. I've talked about this a lot, is build relationships and strong relationships with everybody. And you may not gel with every person you meet, but there's something unique about that person that's positive, and find that in that person. If a person comes up to you that's very critical of you, they got self-esteem problems, and so you need to visit with them about that a little bit. I always try to be positive and bring a positive effect on people all over, and that builds those strong relationships. And so